Okay, so I want to talk about, I'm going to try to do, in addition to faces, relationships. I think when I was talking about this whole thing, I kind of didn't talk about just in general relationships. I think when relationships are over, they're over. You don't really have to keep in touch with the person. If you don't want someone, don't keep in touch with them. I think that's part of what these people wanted to do. Convince me that I have to maintain relationships with people who I don't get along with. I think when you don't get along with someone, you shouldn't be around that person. They said, in general, that's something that they wanted to do to me. And I think that's the hard part of this. The hard part of this is that now at this stage in the world, I think people are beginning to realize that you shouldn't have a relationship if it's not going to be something that's bringing something positive into your life. And I really want to talk about that because what I'm seeing as I look over my 50 years is that when something doesn't bring something positive into my life, keeping it there doesn't help me. Just to say you have it, you know what I mean? Like, just to say, oh, I have this relationship, it doesn't work. I think the other part of that is that if you're not looking at a relationship at the time of the relationship, when relationships to me don't start out horrible, it becomes horrible. So if you're not looking at, say, if you look at a relationship at this point in time versus like this point in time, and you just look at this, oh, this might be the part that's the best part. But when you look at this, you're like, oh. So part of, to me, a relationship isn't just looking at it at this point, it's looking at the full relationship. Because you can pick out a part where that was a great day, or those were some great moments. But if the whole relationship on a whole wasn't good, then it wasn't a good relationship. So that's something else I want to talk about. So I want to kind of talk more about relationships. The other thing I wanted to talk about is that if we're going to talk as a society about things, and I'm not going to do, talking about movies or songs for a while. I'm going to take a break from that because something that I've been talking about has been about how music can stay in your head or how you can kind of sing along to something. So what they've been trying to do is substitute music for stringing words or beats or what else can I say that will explain it? So instead of using music, they've been trying to use sounds to string it along so that you're like. So what I'm trying to do is explain this in a way that people will understand. If I'm looking at you and all of a sudden there's a noise and that noise distracts me from you, it can be used to distract from other things also. So what I'm saying, which is a bigger issue here, is that the noise not only distracts in a relationship, it distracts your attention. And attention is a very important thing. I've been doing a lot of research and trying to connect, my videos to other people's explanations to make it easier. But I'm not going to do it in this case because I think you guys understand. If something cannot hold your attention, it's one thing. But if someone is doing something intentionally to distract you so that you can't have your attention held, that's a completely different thing. So what I'm telling you folks is that sounds, beats, frequencies that distract your attention from what you're doing at the time is an important part of this. And that's another issue. So eventually I think I'll go to that issue. Right now I'm going to take a little break because I've been doing too much of that and I'm tired. And when I get tired, I don't feel well. So I think the other part of this, and I'm going to